It says that we're live, Kim, so I'm just going to go ahead and check our Facebook page, wait for it to alert some of the folks that were interested in this broadcast, and maybe grab some other captive audience members that we can have. So looks like we already have a couple of people that are on here. And just give us a thumbs up as you come on here. Let us know you're excited and ready to tune in. It looks like our board chair, Brian Dice, is already on. Awesome. Okay, well, in the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and get us kicked off and hop on. Today is Friday for those of you that have lost track of days, as we all have. But I just wanted to let you know that today's broadcast is actually a little bit different than we generally close out the week. Usually on our Fridays, we have our elected officials that are with us from school districts, counties to state. We actually segued and had this topic instead just because of the reopening phase in business, and we thought it was more important timing wise to have this, and then we'll be back to our normal rotation next week. It looks like we have a couple of folks that are already on here with us. Good morning to you, Tina from Silver Touch Aesthetics, and our counselor, Dave DeMott. Hello to you. Thank you for tuning in. I am Juliet, President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce, and I'm so pleased to continue our COVID-19 series with everyone that's tuned in. If it's your first time on here with us, please be sure that you like our page and follow so you can continually get alerted as we go live and post any information. Find us on other platforms, our Instagram and Twitter accounts at Westie Chamber, and we're also on our YouTube page as well. So if you don't receive any of our emails, this is a question that we've been receiving in the last couple of days from people. You do not have to be a member of our organization to be receiving some of these COVID updates. So please be sure that you share with us your email address. You can DM us that information or just email us at info@westminsterchamber.biz. So for those of you that have been following a lot of our videos, these were designed to educate businesses about how to adapt in wake of COVID. So a lot of us didn't really know, we still have to function, we need revenue, but how do we do that without having the ability to open our doors and have that traffic or go out and visit one-on-one with the clients that we usually do? And so a lot of those subjects focus on how do you adapt and go virtual for your meetings? How do you work when you have kids in your home or other people grabbing and buying for your attention, all the way to different platforms that you can select for e-commerce and more. Now that we're reopening business, we've actually reintroduced our surveys as a reopening surveys that are being conducted by some wonderful volunteers at this very moment. And as they're calling, they're figuring out, are you reopening your business? What do you feel might be your biggest hindrance in doing so, or biggest challenge you might experience? And what things can we do to help you make that decision and feel comfortable and empowered to do so? So a lot of our video topics now will be focused on ways that we can support you as we reopen and transition into this phase of safer at home, and then hopefully subsequently just opening up our business community. So we had a topic this past Tuesday that focused on employees' health, how to get tested, ways that you can find some of those locations and parameters to keep in place. Wednesday, we touched on the legal implications of reopening for those of you that are interested in reopening and might be hesitant to institute some sort of a policy as to not offend customers or community members. And then today we have with us Kim Smith. Kim is with Heartland, and they have been members with us for a long period of time. Kim's been a member of our organization, even before she went over to Heartland. So I'm excited to have her with me because I know that she is very much focused on educating our business community. And one of the services that they'll be offering, she'll touch on today, is this contactless payments. But broadly speaking, whether or not you choose to go with Heartland or who you end up going with, this is kind of a concept that we want you to be introduced to if you're not already, so you can get familiar, ask the right questions, and make the right decision. So with that, I'll turn it over to you to take it away, Kim, and share with us some information. For those of you that are tuned in and have questions or comments, type them in our video so we can be able to pull them at the end. We love flattery, so let us know how much you like the material you hear.
Thank you, Juliet. Well, right now, businesses are having to adapt to new realities of our world. One of those realities is that safety matters just as much as the quality of the services or the products that merchants provide to us. So merchants right now are currently taking measures that they have to protect their customers and their employees. You know, a lot of businesses have had to go out, install plexiglass in their stores. Right now, I think we have restaurants that are moving tables out to the fronts of their locations, maybe even in the parking lot, so they can, you know, seat a few more people than they would have. And with that being said, there's just a lot of things that business owners have to do right now to adapt and to make those changes. But by making some of these changes, they're demonstrating to their customers and their employees they really care about the people that's helping them keep their doors open. And one of those things that these businesses are changing to is contactless payments. There are some businesses currently that have been using this for a while, but the majority of businesses have not. So I want to show you a couple different things today. I have a couple different terminals that I want to talk about. And the ease of using them, I will tell you that the businesses that have been out there, again, putting up the plexiglass, moving tables out possibly to the parking lot, something like moving to contactless payments is going to be one of the easiest things that they have to do in this move. So we work with a lot of point of sale systems. Of course, if you go into a restaurant, they're going to be using a point of sale solution, or some of our bigger retailers all use point of sale solutions. And you've seen units like this anywhere you go, you know, from the grocery store to restaurants. These are contactless solutions. This is something that would sit right on the merchant's counter. I'm not actually going to run a transaction, but I will kind of show you how it works. The card goes right in there, and the customer is in charge of the transaction with these terminals. These terminals, again, work for restaurants, bars, grocery stores, lodging, gas stations, retail, boutiques, medical dental offices, veterinary offices. They work very well with this solution here, as this will integrate with almost any point of sale solution that's out there. I have another terminal that's a little bit different than the pin pad that you just saw. The pin pad that you just saw actually integrates again with point of sale solutions. This little device is pretty cool. It's a 4G wireless device. It works amazing with food trucks. Show you how you put in a card. Food trucks, auto repair, electricians, plumbers, HVAC, delivery services. It is completely wireless. It has to be charged. But again, this is something that you can set on your counter or you can hand to your customer, and they are in charge of keeping their card to themselves. So the card, again, never gets handed over to the employee. And that's really what our customers are wanting. They want one less point of contact. Now, last but not least, I have another device that's very simple. And again, most of you have seen these devices out there. We all go to the grocery store. We all know how it works when you just insert your card at the little pin pad at the grocery store. This particular little device, this is actually sitting on the charging station. I don't know if I can get it out or not. But this is the charging station. This is the device that the card goes into. Something like this is great for coffee shops, hair and nail salons, medi-spas, landscapers, because this is totally something that you can take out with you in your car. Okay, it runs off of, it does get charged, but it runs off your cell phone. So you can actually turn your cell phone or a tablet into a small little point of sale system with something like this. It is Bluetooth, and that's how it connects. So personal services, fairs, things like that are great for this little device. It is 100% hands-free. This device would sit on the counter, and the customer is in charge of taking their own card and putting it in and removing it. So those are some of the units. A lot of the point of sale systems that are out there and that we even offer work well with iPads or tablets. You see that a lot right now at restaurants. The server comes out, she has a tablet, she takes your order, she'll even take payment on that tablet. So for those restaurants out there that aren't set up with that yet, that is something that I think most all of them are working on. As you can only imagine, we've received tons of calls just with a lot of concerned business owners that want to make sure that they're following the guidelines. I have not seen any real guidelines specific to counties in terms of something from DORA, you know, the Department of Regulatory Agency, if they're going to require contactless payments. I think there are some counties that may require it. Whether or not it's required, it is something that customers are wanting from our businesses. Very easy to get set up, very safe. Transactions that are processed with any of these types of devices are very, very safe. There's nothing different in inserting your card into a stationary device or a device like this in terms of safety. In fact, what this actually does is it creates a one-time token for any of those transactions. Now, you may remember going back 4 or 5 years ago, the magnetic strip on the back of a card is what we used to use before we got the little chip. And the magnetic strip there was a lot more chance that that data was going to be compromised. Now, with the chip, they're much safer. Most cards now are contactless. And you can look at your card and you'll know if it's contactless. There's a little, it almost looks like the Wi-Fi symbol on your card. And that will denote if it is a contactless card. If it is a contactless card, all you actually have to do is tap your card. Okay? And the majority of the cards are coming out now with contactless, with the option. Again, you just tap that card and the transaction is ran. So it's nice to not have to hand your card over to somebody. Not only, you know, now is there the health concern in doing so, but there's always been that, I think, kind of thought in the back of your mind about fraud. You know, what's this person going to do with my card? So from every single angle that you look at it, it's just a much easier way to process a transaction. In many cases, by taking a unit like this to the table, say in a restaurant setting, the transaction is going to be quicker. So that's going to free up your waitress or your server, whatever it is, to spend more time taking care of other customers. Get that one customer taken care of, get the transaction done, and they're going to move on and go to their next customer. So it is a little quicker using units like this as well. Online, I just want to talk about that real quick. In the last couple months, from February to March, we had a huge surge in online accounts. As you can imagine, so many of these business owners that knew they were going to be closed, they had to make some split-second decisions and move their businesses online. So we're doing a lot of online accounts now. You know, whatever it is that our customers want from us, we're getting them taken care of and getting them set up with the right tools and the right products that serve their business the best.
I'll go ahead and interrupt right now. That was a wealth of information, actually a lot shorter of a time than I expected. Kim, you did awesome. We have several people that kind of hopped on, so I just want to give them some quick shout outs. Counselor Seymour, Counselor Bowles, and Ann Hogan. A couple of different comments from a few of our past and current board members. Kim's the best. Thanks for sharing some great information today. And then our current board chair, Brian Dice, sharing, you know, looking forward to some pretty great information. Tina Silver is a med spa, so I thought that was nice that you emphasized, you know, and if you're just now hopping on, Kim touched on the different contactless payment terminals that are out there and available. She actually went into detail on 3 specific ones and how each one can service a couple of different industries. So it's more tailored than you think. So she does say, love the glowing scan. I feel like I know she's directing it toward both of us at this point. So one of the things, Kim, you commented, on how much regulation and public health and whether you're forced to be able to have contactless. I am aware of both our Tri-County and Jeffco are following almost to a T our state health department orders. And there are a couple of industries, if I'm not mistaken, that are suggested for them to have that contactless payment method that's on there. Do you know off the top of your head, and I don't mean to just kind of throw you off the, off the rail for this, we could come back and answer it later, but how the percentage of businesses that already had it, or a percentage of increase that you might be seeing right now adding in this contactless payment solution?
Well, the percentage of businesses that actually have this set up right now is very, very small. I would say not more than 2 to 3% of businesses that, well, you know what, let me take that back, because all of our grocery stores and our large retailers, keeping in mind your Target, your Walmart, your King Soopers, those are the large retailers. I'm talking about your mom and pop, your small businesses. Probably 1 to 2% of them are set up for contactless payments already, and that's it. So like I said, I'm getting a lot of calls right now. And again, it's mostly business owners stressing their concern to me. How are we going to get this done? Is it expensive? Which it is not. I mean, these little devices that I just showed you are very inexpensive. A device like this, which again is going to be something that you see at a grocery store, restaurant, or bar, or something like that. They're very inexpensive. A lot of businesses might have anywhere from 1 to 10 of these sitting on a counter, depending on how many registers they have. But it is not expensive at all to get a device like this or get set up. This, in all honesty, something like this may be one of the least expensive things that some of these business owners are having to do with all these changes that they're making to their business model. Believe it or not.
And are all of those terminals, you're able to actually wipe them down between uses, or how is the screen affected if you use product on it?
Actually, we have cleaning instructions for each different terminal. Some of them, this particular one is glass. So it depends on what you're actually getting, what's going to be best and what's suited for your business. Because again, each business model, there's different things that are going to fit them better. So this one is glass. Yes, it can be cleaned. Again, we have instructions for that. This one is more of a plastic, but yes, they all can be wiped down. They all can be sanitized.
And then here's a comment that we received from a small business owner. Now, this is not a restaurant or a med spa, more of a business service. So what they do is take some phone payments and also Apple Pay in person. Can we touch a little bit? I think it's great to think of, all the options and ways that people can remit payment to you. It simplifies the process for them and your handling of anything, really. But can you touch to the safety side of it? You shared this a little bit, and I'd like for you to go in a little bit more detail on it.
You bet. And I do want to just say real quick, with Google Pay, Apple Pay, and contactless, depending on where you're at, where you're doing your business right now, the majority, I would say, gosh, probably 90 to 95% of those businesses currently are set up to pay Apple Pay, Google Pay, and a contactless card. When you run a transaction, believe it or not, with Apple Pay, Google Pay, or your contactless card, it is more secure. I know that sounds crazy because, that data is just it's being transmitted, where out there where does all that stuff go? Everybody always wonders, but it is much safer to run a transaction that way. Again, going back to the old-fashioned way of sliding a card, that was very unsafe. So fraud has gone down tremendously since we have been using what we call EMV capable cards. And the EMV cards, again, are the cards that everybody has today, with the little, if you can see that little chip. And they are much safer. So yeah, in terms of safety, all of these terminals are very safe. With Heartland, We have unlimited breach warranty. So we guarantee things for our customers, and that gives them a more peace of mind and peace of mind along to their customers as well. So it is very safe way of doing a transaction. You know, right now, online has exploded, as everybody knows. I think everybody's had their card out several times, whether it be ordering groceries, you know, something again from a big box store that we need. And that's never going to go away. And it is as safe as it can be. There are going to be those hackers out there that are just very intelligent and can, there's so many different protections put into place. It kind of blows my mind that there's still as much fraud as there is. But keep in mind, our fraud has gone down by billions of dollars every single year since we have gone to the chipped cards.
Can you touch a little bit? I know you showed us the area where the chip reader is on the card. How can people delineate whether it's a contactless card that they can lay flat on to a terminal and use it? And then if not, I mean, most of them can call their bank or whoever issues.
Absolutely. And you can ask specifically for a contactless card. Now I'm going to hold this up. It's probably going to be kind of hard to see, but I want to give you an idea. A contactless card, right? It's right there by the chip. It kind of looks like a sideways Wi-Fi symbol. And sometimes they're on the back of the card as well. So check the front and check the back. And that's what's going to determine if it is a contactless card. Now it's interesting, I will tell you with Chase, every time I get a new business card, it is contactless, but my personal card is not. I don't know why they do that, but yeah, so look like it's, again, kind of that sideways Wi-Fi symbol that you see on your card.
Excellent. Yes. And I do have one of my cards is Chase, and that's why I was asking because I've not seen that on there. So it makes sense.
Yep.
Are there any additional comments you want to share related to the contactless? I know you mentioned, you know, it's not as cost prohibitive as some people might expect. And I know we're not in the habit, and I think almost no one is in the habit of just quoting blanket something because it just depends on so many variables as to what the business needs are, the timeline, what, you know, what device it is, et cetera. But if you can give us an average, for example, of a small business and what they would expect to potentially pay in, just to kind of give people an idea. If you're not comfortable, I totally get it, but to just a ballpark so they can understand that it's not as cost prohibitive as they might think.
Absolutely. Something like this is $75. So very economical. Some of our pin pads, most of our pin pads are anywhere from $150 to say $250. Now, a solution like this is a little more expensive because it is running off cell phone towers and that data. It also prints. I don't know if I don't have any tape in this one, but this one actually prints where the other ones don't. So something like this is a little more expensive, and this is really heavy duty. You can feel the differences in them. So these are a little pricier, but these are very nice. 4G, so they're very fast. Again, anybody working outside or remotely, these are fantastic. And we will rent them to you. So there's a monthly cost and you don't have to buy it out front, but they're great terminals. They'll work anywhere.
And I think one of the key benefits that you shared, Kim, was the time and how easy it is for people to process a transaction. I know that after going out to eat or going, you know, wherever you need to purchase something, you spend a lot of time, whether it's actually eating or trying on the clothes that you need to or selecting the product. And then sometimes the checkout process ends up being as long, if not longer. And so to see that this option can potentially reduce that and create more of that positive customer experience is something that's a value.
You know what? That's a very good point. It is a great value to that business owner because the time is money for a business owner. And so the more time they spend on one customer, that takes away time from another customer. And transactions on most of these devices take about 3 seconds. So it is very quick.
That's crazy. Well, thank you, Kim, for giving us kind of some insight into the contactless payment options. You touched briefly on the online ordering platforms and everything that we have. We actually have done a webinar I want to say about 3 weeks ago now, with Jeff Leopold, who shared some about, the online platforms that are out there and some of the work that Heartland's doing in that arena. So if you've tuned in and you're interested more on that front, I suggest that you go to our videos archive and scroll down and find that video with Jeff Leopold about online ordering platforms and such. This topic today was brought to us by Kim Smith. Kim is with Heartland Payment Solutions and touched on contactless payments as a way to increase productivity, to reduce costs and time, to remain safe and healthy, and to really adapt to reopening in a time of such as this, where it's a little bit uncertain and you're not really sure about what's going on. We've got a couple of people that are hopping off. It looks like Tina has to run. She's got a graduation that is taking place in their home. Thank you for tuning in with us. And then we also have Counselor Bowles, who's sharing, great information. Thank you, Kim. Is there an online central resource to see if we're all doing all we can be as secure as possible?
You can go to Heartland. You can go to heartlandpaymentsystems.com. And if you have any questions, you can call me directly, but that is our website.
And will you share with us your phone number?
Absolutely. 303-919-0494. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions anybody has. Walk through any questions, concerns that business owners might have.
Well, thank you, Counselor, for that question. And to reach Kim, or if you have any questions and are watching this video on replay, give us a hashtag replay. Let us know you tuned in, and then ask us any questions or comment away. We'll come back and answer those at any point. And if you're interested in connecting with Kim to get more information, please do not hesitate to reach out to them so that you can find out more information about the contactless payment options and other services that they might have to help you in this time of reopening. Thank you so much to Kim for spending your morning with me. And also to everyone that's tuned in with us. I know it's a Friday morning and it might not totally feel like it, but the weekend's coming up. So as that envelops, I want you to be mindful that we'll come back to you on Monday. We always start the week on Monday with our mayor. So Mayor Herb Atchison will share some updates from his lens on our city, some things that are transpiring and things that you should be aware of. Thank you, Mike, for tuning in, our general counsel who's hopped on, and to everyone that I did not give a shout out to. No, I love you. It just didn't show up your name on my end. So I again appreciate you, Kim, and appreciate everyone who tuned in. Please be sure that you peruse our videos that we've previously shared. We had yesterday a town hall that was with the Colorado Brewers Guild and the Colorado Hotel and Lodging Association, both of which shared some drastic stats. And I think it's so important for us to be tuned in and see how we can be supporting our breweries and our hotels right now, who are really hurting now, but they're also projected to be hurting in the next several months. So thank you all so much. I hope you have a terrific morning, afternoon, and weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Bye.